Well, the Transportation Committee of the General Assembly is looking at the issue of reinstituting tolls, but when and if it happens, it'll be very different from the way the tolls were constructed years ago, because we used to have, up until 1983, when the tolls were taken down, in Connecticut we had basically every 10 miles along I-95 there was a toll station. And so every 10 miles or so you'd have to pull up to a toll booth and slow down and pay. Increasingly that became a problem as traffic became more congested on the highways, and ultimately by the early 1980s there were a number of serious accidents, with one fatal accident, and after that it created a public furor that ultimately the tolls were removed. The new issue is now whether the modern technology surrounding tolls, with Easy Pass or having electronic tolls where cameras would take a picture of the license plate of a car passing and then send the owner a bill. But the controversy is, where would they go? There's been a discussion about possibly having border tolls. Now, there's some broad-based support for that, but there's also opposition, especially legislators who represent towns near the border believe that their constituents would be the ones who would be most inconvenienced by having tolls in areas where they now can drive freely. The concern on the other side in terms of favoring tolls is that by tolls you would have, in effect, a user fee. The people who are using the roads would be using them by paying the tolls, and also we'd be able to capture some revenue from out-of-state drivers driving through Connecticut. Well, I think we're probably still a few years away from it. I think the legislature is just starting to grapple with the idea this time. I don't think it's likely to pass in this session of the legislature, but if the governor decided to be an advocate for it, he could probably enhance its likelihood of passage by leading the charge for it, but I think he is at this point leaving it up to the General Assembly to decide what the view is on tolls, partly because we're looking for new revenue streams, and people are concerned about the gasoline tax, because we have two separate taxes on gasoline in Connecticut. But because people are concerned and sensitive about gasoline prices, there's been more thought given to tolls, the idea that tolls at least would be paid by the people who are using the roads, and there's a direct connection between them. And also we have an aging infrastructure of roads and highways that need to be repaired, and we need to replenish the transportation fund.